think that today President Trump, back then Donald Trump, the businessman, do you think that he started the election process, or just as he just wanted to say that he ran for president at one point, and perhaps along the way he realized, maybe I need to take this seriously? Because I think that's what the left saw. I think that's what Hillary saw. This man is just coming here to boost his ego, but there's no chance that he's going to win. But then he realized that there was this huge void out there, and he was talking to the people about what they really wanted, and he realized that the American spirit needed that, and something clicked in him. Do you think that happened along the way?
Yeah, I do. I think he was probably testing the waters in 2012.
Exactly.
And realized that the fighting spirit wasn't quite there yet. And I think even he realized, because Donald Trump's got discernment. I can tell you that for a fact. That gentleman has got discernment. And he was discerning that the people were not ready yet. And I think that's why he backed off. And I think that even him having discernment, that God was showing him that it's not time. They're not ready. But I'm going to bring you into a time when I'm going to say go. And that's going to be 2016. Or 15 at the time when he was running, 16. And that's when that's when I'm going to do this. But here's the thing, is that we're finding out now that even Hillary Clinton, everybody was scared to death of Donald Trump actually trying to run for president because he knows too much. And so that's why it was also not quite time, because certain assets were not in place, I believe, that the Lord wanted in order for the destiny that God had on him for him to complete it, if that makes sense. And you're seeing that taking place right now with, we can get into that in a little later about him taking down the cabal, the New World Order, that kind of thing. I don't think those certain things that needed to be in place were also not quite in place in 2012 like they were in 2015.
I think there's definitely, you probably have heard the Operation Gladio. I think there's a Gladio-style operation taking place that President Obama left behind. And I've heard information that all the former presidents, probably with the exception of Jimmy Carter, but Clinton, Bush 41, Bush 43, and Obama, they are all communicating with a special device. They are trying something with this 2018 election, and obviously with the 2020 election. Do you believe this is a fact?
Yeah, I do. Their comms have gone dark, and so they're having to resort to other ways of communicating. We saw that at McCain's funeral. They had caught some stuff on camera, and they also had 12 hotel rooms rented near the main skip.
Exactly.
So
tell us more about this, because a lot of people don't know what you're saying about these boxes and these trailers and the hotel rooms.
Right. Well, the Trump and Trump and his administration is what I should say. President Trump and his administration have silenced their comms. They're having a hard time communicating, so they're having to resort to old style communication. We saw them passing some notes at the funeral. And if you'll also notice, General Kelly and General Mattis were escorting the McCains in, which I don't know if that was an official military escort of sorts. But the skiff rooms basically are designed to silence anybody that they can talk about classified information and no one can see them, no one can hear them, and they're called skiff rooms. And I think they were near the main one out there in that area of Arizona or somewhere. I don't know the exact location where they were at, if these skiff rooms were. I was just reading some of the stuff that they were doing. But it does not surprise me, because I know their comms have gone dark. They're having to resort to other ways of communicating. And that was also the only way that they could all get together, the cabal themselves, and talk about how they're going to, try and derail the 2018 elections. We're between now and the elections is going to be a pretty intense time. People need to be in prayer, right now for the country, because I've been warning for 2 years that when these arrests and these tribunals take place, because everybody thought I was nuts when I said military tribunals were coming, and that they were going to make mass arrests, and that Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama and all these guys were going to go to jail. I mean, I've caught a lot of flack over saying that, And now it's looking like that it's not so far fetched now. And so, I mean, when they start making these mass arrests, especially these big figures, there will be some civil unrest across the country. So people just need to be prepared. There's nothing to be afraid of, but they just need to be prepared. Even and I've been saying that for almost 2 years now. And, for the people to be praying, because we can mitigate a lot of this stuff by praying against it and asking the Lord to intervene to stop some of this stuff. Because here's the bottom line with the 2018 elections, is that this is the enemy's last stand. Literally, this is their last stand that they have to try to do something to stay in power. And I got news for them. It is not going to work. God has a plan. God's got heaven's agenda is being poured out upon the earth right now, and that is to take back America. But this is also bigger than just America. This is global. You're seeing stuff happening on a global level on the cabal right now. So, I mean, but there's an agenda in place. They will pull out every weapon at their disposal to try and stop this 2018 or try to interfere with it. So you can look for false flags, terrorist attacks, school shootings, fires, weather events, because they are controlling all of this stuff right now. I know it sounds like conspiracy theory, but it is fact. People can look it up. They are controlling a lot of this stuff. It is not by coincidence that you had Hurricane Harvey hit Texas and Irma hit Florida. I live in Florida. The eye of that hurricane came right over my house. And so they are generating these storms. They have the technology to do it. They have the technology to steer these storms. Texas, there's an all-out battle right now for Florida and Texas right now. If you'll notice, this is where a lot of these shootings are happening. That's where a lot of these hurricanes are going. It's not coincidence, folks. This is literally the cabal trying to, because these two states, they know Florida's a swing state, and they know Texas went for Trump and Florida went for Trump. They're trying to turn these two states because Florida is the next biggest electoral college vote other than California. I believe California will go red at some point. And the day that it goes red, they are done, period. And so this is why you're also seeing this stuff with California go really intensify out there, this fight that they have going on. But look for these events to happen, because they're going to pull out every weapon of their warfare right now between now and that time, because if they don't win this election, they know they are finished, because they are, and I got news for them. They're finished anyway. They're not going to win. They're not going to stop this election. So, I mean, when these guys get rounded up, it's going to be remarkable, because we're living in some times right now that are historic, that we've never seen before in the history of man.